You've seen it. 802.11ax, 802.11ac, AX6000, AC1900, Wi-Fi 6, Wi-Fi 7, and at some point you probably thought, why does my router sound like a Wi-Fi password? Today we're fixing that. By the end of this, you'll understand what 802.11 actually means, why the letters exist, what Wi-Fi 4, 5, 6, and 7 really are, what those big numbers like AX6000 mean, and how to know if your Wi-Fi is modern or ancient. Let's clean this up once and for all. First, why is it called 802.11? Wi-Fi didn't start as Wi-Fi. It started as 802.11. That name comes from the Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers, usually called IEEE. They create technical standards for electronics. 802 is the Committee for Local Area Networking. 11 is the Working Group for Wireless Networking. So 802.11 literally just means Wireless Networking Standard made by Committee 802, Group 11. That's it. No secret meaning. The letters A, B, G, N, AC, AX. Here's the part most people don't know. The letters are just alphabetical updates. When engineers improved the Wi-Fi standard, they added the next letter. 802.11a, 802.11b, 802.11g, 802.11n, 802.11ac, 802.11ax, 802.11be. They don't stand for anything. Not advanced, not next, not extreme, just the next letter in line. Eventually, they ran out of single letters. So now we have two-letter versions like AX and BE. That's why the naming feels chaotic, because it was never designed for normal people. The evolution of Wi-Fi, the parts that actually matter. Instead of memorizing every version, think in eras. 1997, the original 802.11, 2 megabits per second. Painfully slow by today's standards, but revolutionary at the time. Wireless internet without cables, that was huge. 1999, 802.11b, the first popular Wi-Fi. This is when Wi-Fi went mainstream. It ran on the 2.4 gigahertz band and hit 11 megabits per second. 2.4 gigahertz travels farther and passes through walls better, but it's crowded. Microwaves, Bluetooth devices, baby monitors, all fighting in the same space. 1999, 802.11a, the faster alternative. Released the same year, used 5 gigahertz instead of 2.4 gigahertz. Much faster, up to 54 megabits per second, but shorter range, and it couldn't talk to 802.11b devices. That 2.4 gigahertz versus 5 gigahertz trade-off still exists today. 2003, 802.11g, the combo upgrade. Took the speed of 802.11a, kept the 2.4 gigahertz range, and stayed compatible with older devices. This is when home Wi-Fi became normal. 2009, 802.11n, now called Wi-Fi 4. This was a real jump, up to 600 megabits per second, used both 2.4 and 5 gigahertz, and introduced MIMO, meaning multiple antennas sending and receiving data at once. Instead of one stream of data, you had multiple streams. This is when Wi-Fi stopped feeling fragile. If your router says N300 or N600, this is what you're using, and yes, it's old. 2013, 802.11ac, Wi-Fi 5. Now we're in gigabit territory, over 1 gigabit speeds, 5 gigahertz only, wider channels, more spatial streams. It also introduced MU-MIMO, meaning your router could talk to multiple devices at the same time instead of making them wait in line. Wi-Fi 5 is still very usable today. Most homes ran fine on this for years. 2019, 802.11ax, Wi-Fi 6. This one wasn't just about speed. Yes, it can reach 9.6 gigabits in theory, but the real improvement was efficiency. Wi-Fi 6 handles crowded networks better. Apartments, offices, homes with 20 devices connected. It uses a technology called OFDMA, which lets the router divide channels into smaller pieces and serve multiple devices more efficiently. So instead of one device hogging the lane, everyone gets a slice. 2021, Wi-Fi 6E. Same as Wi-Fi 6, but with access to a brand new 6 GHz band. Less congestion, cleaner airwaves, lower latency. Important detail most people miss. To use 6 GHz, both your router and your device must support Wi-Fi 6E. Otherwise, you're still on 2.4 or 5 GHz. 2024, 802.11 BE, Wi-Fi 7. Now we're at Wi-Fi 7. Theoretical speeds up to 46 gigabits. Supports 2.4, 5, and 6 GHz simultaneously. Wider 320 MHz channels. Multi-link operation, which allows devices to connect across multiple bands at once for lower latency and higher stability. It's extremely powerful, but right now it's early adopter territory. Why we now say Wi-Fi 4, Wi-Fi 5, Wi-Fi 6, and Wi-Fi 7. In 2018, the Wi-Fi Alliance realized something. Nobody outside engineering knew what 802.11ax meant, so they simplified it. 802.11n equals Wi-Fi 4, 802.11ac equals Wi-Fi 5, 802.11ax equals Wi-Fi 6, 802.11ax with 6 GHz equals Wi-Fi 6E, 802.11be equals Wi-Fi 7. Higher number, newer generation. Notice there's no Wi-Fi 1, 2, or 3 officially named. They skipped those because the older standards were already outdated. What AC1900, AX6000, BE19000 actually mean? This is where marketing enters the chat. Let's decode it. The letters: AC equals Wi-Fi 5, AX equals Wi-Fi 6, BE equals Wi-Fi 7. Simple. The numbers. That number is the combined theoretical maximum speed of all bands added together, not what one device gets, added together. So an AC1900 router, roughly 600 megabits on 2.4 gigahertz, 1300 megabits on 5 gigahertz, total 1900 megabits. But here's the catch. You will never hit 1900 megabits. That assumes perfect conditions, max channel width, zero interference, and multiple devices transmitting at once. Real-world performance is often 40 to 60% of that number. That AC1900 router might deliver 400 to 600 megabits in reality. Same with AX6000. You're not getting 6 gigabits on your phone. Dual band, tri-band, quad band. This just refers to how many radios the router has. Dual band, one 2.4 gigahertz radio, one 5 gigahertz radio. Tri-band, one 2.4 gigahertz, two separate 5 gigahertz radios. Quad band, often 2.4 gigahertz, multiple 5 gigahertz, plus 6 gigahertz. More bands means more devices can spread out instead of fighting over the same lane. It doesn't automatically mean faster for one device. It means better handling of many devices. How to know if your Wi-Fi is old? Check your router. If it says N300, N600, and 900, Wi-Fi 4, old. AC1200, AC1900, Wi-Fi 5, aging but fine. AX1800, AX3000, Wi-Fi 6, modern. AXE5400, Wi-Fi 6E, very modern. BE11000 or higher, Wi-Fi 7, cutting edge. Then check your devices. Your router can be Wi-Fi 6, but if your laptop only supports Wi-Fi 5, it connects at Wi-Fi 5 speeds. Your network is only as fast as the weakest link in that connection. Should you upgrade? Upgrade if you're still on Wi-Fi 4, you have 10 plus devices and slowdowns, you live in an apartment building, you pay for gigabit internet but never see those speeds. You're fine if you have Wi-Fi 5 or 6 and no issues. Your plan is under 500 megabits, everything feels stable. Wi-Fi 7 is powerful, but expensive, and most devices still don't fully support it yet. For most people right now, Wi-Fi 6 or 6E is the sweet spot. The big picture. Wi-Fi names look complicated because they were built for engineers, not consumers. But once you break it down, 802.11 is just the technical standard. The letters are alphabetical updates. Wi-Fi 4, Wi-Fi 5, Wi-Fi 6, and Wi-Fi 7 are simplified generations. Router numbers are marketing totals, not real-world speeds. Now when you see AX6000 or BE19000, it won't look like random code. It'll make sense. Check your router. What Wi-Fi standard is your router?
Drop it in the comments. Let's see how many people are still rocking ancient Wi-Fi 4. And if this video finally made Wi-Fi names make sense, hit that like button and subscribe for more tech mysteries solved.